edition of Author Fan Face Off. I am Leaping Librarian Stacey Rattner, and my fabulous co-host is Steve Sheinkin.
Yeah!
And today, you know how this is. We have one fabulous author who we love so much, and we have two fabulous fans, and we have one book, and our book today is Ghost Boys by the fabulous Jewell Parker Rhodes. Yay! But you have so many other great books, Ninth Ward and Black Brother, which came out this year, which we love so much. And but we are focusing on Ghost Boys from 2018. So is it fresh in your mind, Jewell? Do you think you know it?
Oh, yes. It's very, very fresh in my mind. And actually not because of necessarily a good reason, but particularly now that we're in this sort of second wave of civil rights and Black Lives Matter movement post the death of George Floyd, that the novel has had even a further reach and more resonance. So would I gladly give all of that up for equity and justice? You betcha. But I'm really glad that young people, especially like Ezra and Emma, are talking about it.
So, yes. And speaking of Ezra and Emma, Steve is going to introduce them, your challengers.
You might have guessed the names of our two challengers today are Ezra, who's in 5th grade in Syracuse, New York, right? And this is your sister, Emma. Emma, you're going to help out with questions too, or you're just kind of moral support? Some of both?
I'm saying moral support.
Okay. Because Ezra's the one who picked this book, and Jewell was the one who challenged you, on these questions, because he really loves the book. And so let's just get started. I'm going to start with some questions, and we'll just jump right in. Ezra. At school, this happens right in the beginning. At school, Mr. Myers introduces a new student named Carlos. Where is he from? Texas, yes. All right, Jewell, this one's tough. This one's tough, but it felt meaningful. At the beginning of the story, Jerome's grandma asks him, Jerome, to tell her 3 good things. Do you know what he says?
I don't remember exactly the 3 good things. I think one of the things that I can say is that to me, it was the number 3 that was the best, the most important thing. 3 is a symbolic sign. And if those of you that are careful, you know that I read 3 good things. I use the number 3 in Ninth Ward. So 3 is a symbolic sign of totality, of wholeness. So maybe one of the good things was about him having made a new friend. Darn, this is hard. I failed. Ezra, I failed.
As soon as I wrote that one, I said, is that too hard, especially for round 1? School is fun. School is fun. He likes it. I like it when it snows. Happens to be snowing that morning. And when I'm grown up, he names the pet that he wants to have.
It's got to be a dog.
Well, actually, he says, I'm going to have a cat. And then he adds that in as if I could have a 4th one, it would be going to have a dog.
A dog.
Boy, that was hard.
And let's see. And Ezra, keep it going. Jerome and Carlos hide from bullies by eating lunch here. Where did they eat lunch?
Come a little closer.
We're having trouble with your sound.
In the bathroom.
Yes. Right. And it's
I know the answer to that one too.
All right, this one's for you, Jewell. I think you'll get this one. After Jerome is killed, who is the one living person who can see him?
Well, Sarah can see him.
Okay.
And that's because Kim and grandmother and even Carlos, they sense him, and they don't necessarily need to see him because their faith already includes the idea of the ancestors, of spirits that still linger in the world. So my point was that Sarah, who comes from a different tradition that might not have the same sort of like sense that the spirit goes on and can still walk wander the earth. So for her to see Jerome, it's really a big deal. It shows how open she is, how curious she is, and what a good heart she has, and how she's able to experience and have empathy with other traditions than those that might not be her own. So that was important to me.
All right. That was a much better round. You guys
Thank you.
You redeemed yourself. All right, Ezra. Jerome learns about history from this ghost boy who was killed in Mississippi in 1955. Come closer. Emmett.
Yeah.
Emmett Till. Yeah, and he's an important character.
Bravo, Ezra. You are an all-star.
All right, I'm going to continue on the Emmett Till questions. He had polio as a young boy. And what lasting effect, Jewell, what lasting effect did that have on him?
Well, I think you're probably suggesting the fact that he might have had the stutter because of the polio. It's really interesting because you don't find tons and tons of reference to the polio, but that has been suggested. So he stutters, or particularly when he tries to say the W, his voice comes out as a whistle. So that might have accounted for the fact that Miss Carolyn Bryant thought he had whistled at her in a sassy way when he was probably saying, what's wrong or what's happened. But yes, he's a stutter.
Ezra. Jerome picks up a book in Sarah's room and reads the first line. All children except one grow up. What book is it?
Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Peter Pan. And sticking with the book, on the book theme, Jewell, what book does Sarah send to Jerome's sister, Kim?
I don't remember. She didn't send him Peter Pan? No. Actually, it's interesting because a lot of the book, when it has to do with the voice, like I can remember lines or can recite lines. I can recite like the very beginning of Ninth Ward, which I wrote about 12 years ago. So I think more of the voices, and the details are just something that happens and gets layered in. A writer always wants to use as many details as possible to make the story seem specific, to make the characters seem more real and more authentic. But in terms of writing and what I prize most, it's voice. So the voice and the rhythm of the voice trumps details, but as a writer, I know putting the details matters. So I've got to do that too, but they don't stick or resonate in my head as much. Not unless it was something like Little Women or something like that.
Yes, it is Little Women.
It took us a while.
Little Women was in fact one of my favorite reads as a child. So it makes sense that I would have picked that. I was thinking for a minute, what would Sarah have picked? And I don't know that Sarah necessarily would have picked that, but clearly I put in my favorite.
All right, one more round. Ezra, at the end of the story, Jerome and Carlos's family, they visit Jerome's grave on this holiday.
The Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead, yes. And that is a very important theme.
Ezra is so smart. And I got to tell you, Emma, you are a wonderful good luck charm. You're a great supporter. So see, that's why Ezra's getting all the answers. He's got a sister with him. That's really cool. My dogs are just slugs over there in the corner.
All right. Now I'm going to ask another.
You're not doing anything. Yeah.
Another one little detail question. I feel bad about it, but I got to ask it. It's right here. All right, Jewell. Emmett Till tells Jerome that this living person was able to see and talk with him.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yes, Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall. Yes, that was a big one, because Thurgood Marshall to me is like Sarah. And Sarah then might one day grow up to be like Thurgood Marshall and become a Supreme Court justice. and so people that need to hear it. And Thurgood went on to do great things. And I firmly believe that Sarah's going to go on to do great things.
We have a bonus question. I think we know who our winner is, but we can, we'll put it out there anyway. This is for either of you. You can redeem yourself, Jewell. Miss Penny, the librarian at Sarah's school, quotes a Chinese proverb. Finish the quote. Better to light a candle than...
Ezra, you got to guess? It's got to be something about than to remain in the darkness. It's got to be something like that.
Very close. Curse the darkness.
Then to curse the darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
And the curse.
So.
That was maybe a half of.
Yeah, we'll give you a half, but that still leaves Ezra ahead. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Ezra. Thank you for being such a wonderful reader and a wonderful fan. It really touches my heart. I think you're absolutely spectacular. Woohoo! So next time we're going to have a face-off and we're going to be talking about your book, right? Yes.
Agreed?
Yes. You agree?
Yeah.
I can wait at least until you're like 25, 30. It's okay. So you can take your time.
Fan face, we will know more. Out the fan face, score.
And actually, as we're looking at you with your hoodie, sweatshirt, and just, your striking appearance, and you have a kind of wonderful look of, soul in your eyes. I was thinking about, I had to put you in my new book, right? A new book based on Treasure Island. I'm put in a part there, and I'm going to have a very special character, a wise and forthright and justice-oriented character be in the story at a very crucial point, and he's going to be named Ezra. And I'm going to send that book to you because you are, in fact, to me, a star, and I think that you're glorious.